Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look, I should say, at the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries that make this aircraft here, the M2. So it's a little bit of a lightweight aircraft, which is some of my favorite ones, and also a twin engine here. So that's another one of my favorite categories of aircrafts. So today we're going to just take it up for a fly it around, test it out, and then land it. We're in West Palm Beach. It comes with a couple different liveries here. Has two good ones, I would say, and then, of course, the ones that are Microsoft Flight Simulator that no one usually uses. However, it does have two pretty cool ones, and the variants of aircraft in here, once we jump into the plane, it's going to be a either cargo or passenger variant, and I'll show you how to change those up once we get inside of it. So we'll just put ourselves on the ground here in West Palm Beach, and just want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching these videos, smashing the thumbs up. And if you're into aviation, you're an aviation enthusiast, come join us. We do a lot of live streaming, plane spotting, and we'll be doing many other things on this channel. I appreciate all the support of you guys, and thank you for watching as we get started with the Mitsubishi M2. Alright, as soon as this loads up, which it's currently looking like a little bit of a cloudy day here in West Palm, let's just go ahead and put real weather on. Yep, real weather, real time. So a little bit of rain in the area, that should make for a pretty interesting flight, as you do. Now, the interior of this aircraft is definitely less than to be desired, as it is kind of a little bit old school, if you will. I still kind of like it, though. It has a certain feel to the aircraft, you know. I don't believe the autopilot works that great, but here's a little tablet, right? Okay, so we get a little tablet. Now this plane is about $10 if you have the, I think, deluxe version of the Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you have the regular one, I believe it's 14 bucks. But some of my favorite aircrafts are these little small ones like this, like the Embraer they came out with, was a little twin engine as well. That's not from the same designer as this aircraft. However, I digress for a minute here, and let's go back into this little iPad. Man, I never said that before. I guess I'm starting to sound a little bit smarter, or watching too many videos. Anyway, we're here on West Palm Beach, right at the terminal. So you have like a little map inside there. You can hit the home button, and you can, I guess, you can update your information. Arrival and departure. So you could put in arrival and departure. I guess that's once, maybe that's once it's in here, it uploads. I'm not 100% sure how that works, to be 100% honest with you. All right. Now, if you look in the back here, of course, since this is a cheaper aircraft, you don't have any kind of real, you know, I mean, pretty much just this little table there, which isn't something to click on. I mean, I'll give them that. The shades do not close. Let me see if I can zoom out here so you guys can get a little bit of a better look. Now, to get in and out of this aircraft here, you just can open this door right here like so. And now this is where the plane gets good. If we just go ahead and take a look on the exterior of this aircraft. Now, this is where I think it personally shines. Some people say they do not like the rivets in a different color like this. I think with this black aircraft like this and this livery, I think it looks really nice. I don't know what your opinion is. We also have the retractable landing lights on the bottom here as well. So with that being said, I mean, I think there's a lot of little things that are nice with this aircraft. Okay, for example, the landing gear animation, which you're going to see when we take off, is absolutely amazing. Very, very well done, considering such a cheap aircraft, right? So it does not have any kind of spoilers. So like when you turn the ailerons, these spoilers come up to actually turn the aircraft. So it doesn't have any ailerons. The spoilers are what turns it, which is a pretty interesting feature of this aircraft. It's a high wing aircraft. They do have a lot of record of this thing kind of crashing, so it doesn't have a good track record, probably because of the design, but nevertheless, I love it. I think it's still a really good aircraft, and I think people underestimate the high wing for this airspeed, because this one, even though it's high wing, it lands and takes off at a higher rate than most aircrafts, which you're going to see here in a minute. So let's go ahead and jump inside. We'll close up the door here, and we'll jump inside the cockpit, and we'll get this thing fired up and ready to go. Let me see. Is there a checklist? Okay. So, battery is off and checked. Generator is off and checked. We're just going to go through it. Inverter is off and checked. Fuel is off and checked. Throttle is in the idle position, which you're going to have to pull back the propellers of this aircraft to taxi, because it will taxi like a rocket ship. You'll see that also shortly. All right, and checked. GND is checked. Okay. I don't know if they're supposed to be switched to that position, but we'll go ahead and do that. These are switched to the stop position and checked. And this is to the 0 degrees and checked. The landing gear is down and checked as well. Foot brake, that is set and in, or on, I should say. And that completes our before startup checklist. Okay, now we can do the fun stuff. All right, let's go ahead and turn the batteries, right? Where is the batteries? Okay, the battery is on and checked. Parking brake is on and check. We're going to check that again, right? And we can come up here. These are your lighting. Lighting is yet to be desired. It's not that bad, though. It's pretty good. It does have a default, as these lights are already out and not retracted. So usually you would have to turn them out and then turn them on to have them go ahead and in the on position, right? But this one, you don't have to. So beacon's on. And let's just see where that is. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, is that it flashing over there? I just saw something. Alright. Well, I don't know where the beacon is. It should be... Oh. There it goes. There's the beacon. Alright, beacon is on and checked. Taxi. Propellers are... So this is what I'm talking about here for the propellers. There is a taxi, which is further up here, right? It's right here for taxi, right? But you probably need to pull them a little bit further back, which we'll see here in a second, okay? All right, throttle is checked. GNN switches are checked. And now we press the fuel here and check. Now this should... crack. Okay. And then switch to press. Alright, now we're good. So I should do it. Might take a minute here. Okay. Alright, let's check that again. Just want to make sure I didn't do anything wrong here. Press. To run. This is on crank. I just checked. Press. Check. 40 psi. Oh, it's at 40 psi. Okay. Check. Oil pressure's up. And now we can go ahead. Turn that on. Master flow coming up here. There it goes. There we go. As you could hear, it's not too loud. Now, it doesn't look that great with the animation of the propeller with this cone. The actual propeller itself looks pretty good. The cone is... but, you know, again, guys, this is $10. This plane In my opinion, for being $10, let's put on, that's the generator for the left engine here. Inverter can also come on. And of course we're in taxi still. Start lever, okay. Put that to GNN, switch, press. This goes to GNN, press, click, switch, wait for 40%. There we go. Our pressure's coming up for that side now. Did that. 40% is achieved. Turn that on. Master flow's coming up. There's 10%. Alright, so we can go ahead up here and extend those. Navigational lights are on. Taxi lights are on and checked. Alright, so we should be good here after takeoff. Okay, so we both got those on and checked. Master flow is on and checked. Everything is in the green and checked. They are perfectly. Engines are in the run position now, which is checked and checked. Those are in the safe position and checked. Okay, before taxi, required lights. We did turn the beacon, and we don't need the strobe until we get onto the runway, so that is checked. Lights as required is checked. Taxi light is checked. Tow brake, we can release in a minute here. And of course, parking brake as well. Thrust to back, yeah, slow, taxi, rudder, and we did all of this. Okay, so yeah, we should be good to go here. I'm just gonna put notch flaps in at 2. And we are ready for our departure. We'll also check the lighting here real quick at night, so we'll go ahead and turn some of these lights up just so you can get a feel for this thing flying at night. If you are doing night operations and you like that kind of flight, let's go ahead and show you what that looks like before we take off here. So this is what you'll be looking at night. Fairly nice. Not bad at all for night operations. Not bad at all. That's the strobes. All the lights are on and flickering now. This is the interior, so definitely usable at night as well. Very cool aircraft indeed. I have no complaints. For 10 bucks, I absolutely love this aircraft. I think it's a really fun one to fly, you know, especially if you're looking for something simple, easy to use, and just overall good. It does have, if you check here, the systems for ram air, cooling, heating, and vent as well. I don't know if there's a propeller sync with this aircraft. I don't believe there is. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think there is, okay? And of course, yes. Oh, that's the autopilot switch there. It has pretty much a basic autopilot, nothing too crazy, like leveled and heading mode and stuff like that. So, and it does have an old school GPS as well, which some people like, and you could see that right here by going classic cockpit. So the classic cockpit has this little radar thing here you could put to standby. This does work and it is functional. Don't ask me how it works. I have no clue. But I believe it does show radar and all that stuff. So if you're into old school flying, this does have this little radar thing, and apparently it does work. I personally don't know anything about that, so I'm just going to use our basic one, and that they only give you those two options as far as navigational stuff. So I guess it would be fun to do if you want to do an old school one as well. And of course we have our heat for our propellers and props and pitot heat up top here. Windows wipers do work. I don't know how great they are. De-icers as well, and all the fun stuff that you would expect in an aircraft. So let's go ahead and take it for a bit of a flight here. Let's go take the brakes off. Okay. All right, there we go. Toe brakes are off as well. And as you can see, it moves, you know, fairly decently. If you ever flew a Coronado plane, it's similar to that with ground handling. Pretty quick on the ground to taxi. Agile with the foot pedals that I'm currently using right now, which are Logitech, but nevertheless is not bad aircraft for sure. You could really whip it around. It does handle fairly good, and you can definitely turn this thing in a 360 on the ground if you need to backtrack on a runway for landing one day. It will definitely do so in the best of fashions. I gotta say, overall with this aircraft, I am very pleasantly surprised and happy. I love it. I think it's a great aircraft, and I definitely highly recommend it. I'm not paid to say this. I'm just giving my opinions of each aircraft that I personally purchased with my own money. And I wish I had connections to developers, but I have no idea how that works, to be honest with you. So I just purchased these and do reviews on them based off of how I feel about the aircraft and if it's worth spending the money for. Now, I have made mistakes in the past of thinking a good aircraft, but really these aircrafts all depend on developers and how much they care about their actual products and updates. So you have to keep that in mind. You know, when I first started flight simming, I did not understand that. I thought you just get a plane and it works and that's it. But these developers have to really keep on track with all kinds of stuff with the updates and everything else. So it can become quite taxing as they do that, which is, you know, not to say anything bad about anyone. It's just, you know, that's the name of the game with this this kind of flight simming stuff that we do. So as long as the developer continues to make the product and update it, we should see no change in the quality of aircraft. It just gets better for the most part. And this is a beautiful aircraft, totally worth 10 bucks. And I'm sure you can buy other liveries for it if you're not interested in flying the ones that comes with it. They usually have free ones that you can purchase, or you could probably even get, or not purchase free ones, I mean free ones that you can get off of Sim Market, or no, not Sim Market, what is it? There's a website out there that would give you free liveries. You can also probably purchase them from Sim Market. I wouldn't doubt it if you could. I'm sure there's a lot of different places to go and get that. But yeah. All right, well, we're here on the ground in West Palm Beach, and this is an actual paid airport. I've done a lot of plane spotting over here before for about a year, or maybe it was 2 years almost. Right off of the top of this building right here, this is a little fire station for emergency vehicles to come out. And that's usually where Delta and Southwest Airlines and then the Bahama Airlines are right over here. So really cool to see this airport in its full glory. I'm going to be probably purchasing the San Antonio airport and showing you guys around that, since that's the new location for our flight simming. Alright, this is a bit of a taxi, guys, huh? A long way to go. We're almost there. Bear with me. We're going to be up in the air in no time. So we're going to cut. If this guy doesn't take off soon, we'll probably cut in front of him and just go for it. Alright, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. So, with that being said, I'm just going to advance the prop propellers here fully forward before we take off. So let's just get lined up with the runway here. Okay. Alright, and let's put those all the way up. Let the engine settle and put the power in. Power set. Now remember, this one takes off and lands at a higher rate of speed, so don't take off too quickly with this aircraft. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh boy, it's already giving me a little bit of a hard time. I think we got a crosswind right now in West Palm. Whoa. Yeah, we had a bit of a crosswind there, guys. Jeez, man, that was intense. All right. See the animation of the gear? I love it. I thought that was pretty nice. And I forgot to put flaps in as well, which probably didn't help the situation. We're supposed to go to flaps 2 for takeoff, and that was probably my mistake for not putting flaps in. So it doesn't handle too bad, as you can see. It's a little bit of it's a little sluggish for the aircraft itself, being that it's a little heavier. But you can trim it out too as well. You want to put a little bit of nose trim. It's a little bit nose heavy initially until you get up to speed, and also when landing. You want to land what flaps about 40, 110 knots. If you're going any under 40, you want to be a little bit higher of the airspeed. What landing with this aircraft, it's really quite a different type of high wing aircraft. A little bit of dirt on the windows, not too much. You could kind of see it now because the clouds are giving good contrast of the window here. So quite interesting to see a little bit of dirt and grime on the airplane, as to be expected, considering that it is an older aircraft here. So I'm just going to turn back towards the west, or east, or west, I'm sorry, towards the airport again. We're already at 3,000 feet, doing about 170 knots or so. So what I'm going to do is just trying to go up the coast here, and we'll do a little bit of stall testing with power in, see how this thing reacts. Hopefully we're able to recover it. I've never done a stall test with this aircraft. We're almost at 4,000 feet. I'm just going to try to level off here in a minute. Just trying to get along the coast. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to pull back. Let's see, power in, stall, right? So we're just going to pull straight vertical. This thing climbs really quickly. They say to put trim in it for the takeoff, but you got to be careful with that, because if you put too much trim in it and you have the flaps down, this thing will just shoot up straight like a rocket. So keep that in mind when you're doing your takeoffs, that this aircraft is definitely one that you have to pay attention to. Alright, so we're at 5,300 feet already, and I am shooting this plane straight up, and it is just going for it. Which is pretty interesting, right? 6,000. It's starting to come down on airspeed now. I'm pulling back the stick. We're under 100 knots now. Here we go. I'm still pulling back. It's almost at 7,000. Still pulling back. It's almost under 100. 7,000 feet. 100 knots. Pulling back, pulling back. Now I'm pulling back all the way. I'm pulling back all the way, guys. We're almost at 90 knots, 8,000 feet. And it's just holding so far 90 knots, and the nose is starting to come down. I'm holding it level, and the nose is now starting to come down here. Alright, that's power in stall. Let's do power out stall. Now the nose is coming down again. Okay. Really have to hold the whole aircraft back there. So now it's just dropped the nose on us. It doesn't seem like it wants to drop any wings though, which is kind of interesting. And we're just going to turn back towards land here. And go back towards West Palm Beach. You got a little bit of clouds today in the area, so A little fun flight, I guess. We could try the autopilot out too. Let's do altitude hold. See if that works. No, it's not going to work with altitude hold. That's interesting. Alright, let's go. It's really wanting the nose to come down on me, so I'm just going to trim it out here. This is a really fun plane to fly, though. Alright, we're going to head back towards West Palm here. We'll do another stall test in a minute. Alright, let's get evened out. There we go. This plane is quite fast too, which is pretty impressive for what it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's just do power down and pull back. I want to see if I can get the wing to snap on us. Holding, 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 and the nose is just wanting to come down. It's not doing anything with the stall on the wings. Pretty interesting. Alright, power coming back in here. I'm going to try to get some speed in there, and now we're going to descend, and I'm going to try to put some trim back so we can get the airspeed in there and trim it out a little. Okay, there we go. Now it should be a little bit trimmed. I can feel it. Less pressure, the airspeed's coming up, and we should be flying closer to West Palm now, and we'll try a landing, and we'll wrap this up. I don't want it to be too long for you guys, as these videos can get a little bit longer than expected. West Palm's right over here, so it should be coming up to the right. We'll go ahead and continue to our descend and turn on course here. There's West Palm right there. So we'll just make our way back into West Palm Beach. I guess we're coming in off the water today. So keeping in mind now, what I'm going to do is pull some power out. I'm going to put a notch of flaps in, and we're going to have to trim the nose back down a little bit. So you're going to have to continuously keep an eye on that. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and put the landing lights back in the position here. And gear coming down. Very nice. Love the animation of the gear, guys. I love it. That's one of my favorite things about these planes here. Alright, we are way off track of the airport. I apologize, I got caught up in looking at the landing gear there. You gotta forgive me for that. Now look, see, if you add too much power, the plane will balloon with the flaps. So that's why you gotta kind of really babysit this aircraft. So you want to keep just enough power in where you're not gonna stall. You want to put the flaps at the right position, and then you want to trim out the aircraft as needed, okay? So with this one, you got to pay a little bit more attention to it, because if you push too much power in, it starts to get the nose up in the air with the flaps down. So you really want to have good power management skills with this aircraft, for this aircraft, I should say. I mean, as far as power management, I guess you got to do that with every plane, right? But this one in particular, I'm going to try to get it to about 110 with the flaps fully down. We got gear down. See, I put the flaps another notch, and now it's ballooning. But we are at that sweet spot about 110 knots. We do have left base final. We're going to sneak in here with the rest of the aircrafts. And we're going to try to land here on 20. I think this is 28. 28R, I believe, is this runway right here that we're coming in on. So there you go. We're just going to go ahead and trim nose down. Keep it about there. I'm going to pull out a little bit of power. We're a little high. 1,000 feet. We need to get a little bit further down. And let's go ahead and trim it down. Pull a little bit of power back here. That's why I love this airplane. It's really fun to fly, man. I really enjoy this one. The Mitsubishi. Really cool. I think this would be a fun one to fly around, you know. Definitely really cool functionality. Alright, I'm going to pull some more of the power back here. And I'm kind of nosing it down right now, which is fine. We're still keeping the sweet spot, pulling some more power out here. And now what I'm going to do is start trimming and pulling power back. Not too much. You want to keep this at a higher rate of speed so that you don't bounce around on the runway here. So there we go. A little bit more power, trim. A little bit off the center line, but whoa. We're rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling there. Okay, okay. And that it's I think we got a little bit of a wind or something going on that's catching underneath there, because I got real world weather and everything on, but man, it must be pretty windy over there today. Definitely got a little squirrely there. Usually it's pretty smooth landing with this aircraft. I'm surprised, you know. We're just gonna park over here next to the fire trucks. I'm gonna pull the propellers back here so we can kind of cruise a little bit down. We'll go over here. It's not bad though. Overall, I love this airplane. For 10 bucks, I definitely highly recommend picking it up, giving it a try. My landing definitely needs some work. It's to be desired for sure. But that's to be expected when you're learning new aircrafts, right, guys? So, forgive me. But yeah, it's fun. Definitely a really fun aircraft. I love it. 10 bucks, you can't go wrong here. You see, I have the props pulled back and the idle pulled back, and we're still cruising at a good rate of speed. So you got to keep that in mind when you're taxiing. This thing taxis like a sports car. Alright, let's just park here for the sake of the video. And we'll shut her down. So we'll go ahead and pull these back, right? Disconnect. Okay. That's not bad. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the M2. A beautiful aircraft, and I highly recommend it. I mean, look at this thing. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful. A really nice aircraft in my opinion. I think it's well worth the money. Well worth the money. Beautiful. For the thumbnail, you know. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, smash the thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.